The letter from Crybaby Bridge. The letter arrived on a damp October morning in 2025. Its edges crinkled as if it had been clutched too tightly. It was postmarked from Salem, Ohio, and written in a hurried, uneven scrawl. The sender was my old friend, Ellie, someone I hadn't heard from in years. As I read her words, I could almost hear her voice trembling, recounting a night she swore she'd never forget, a night at Crybaby Bridge. Here's her story, as she told it, and as I now narrate it for you. Dear Chuck, I don't know if you'll believe me, but I have to tell someone. It's been months, and I still wake up hearing that sound, a baby's cry. Faint but unmistakable, echoing in my head. It happened last summer, on July 17th, 2024, when I went to Crybaby Bridge. You remember how I used to laugh at ghost stories? Well, I'm not laughing now. Let me start from the beginning. It was a humid night, the kind where the air sticks to your skin. My cousin Jake had been obsessed with local legends ever since he moved to Salem. He kept talking about this old, rusted bridge off Egypt Road, tucked away on what used to be West Pine Lake Road. Locals call it Crybaby Bridge, and they say if you go there at midnight, you'll hear a baby crying. Some say it's the ghost of a child who drowned. Others say it's a mother's wail for her lost baby. Jake thought it'd be a fun adventure, a way to spook his new girlfriend, Mia. I went along because I was bored, and honestly, I thought it was just a silly story. We drove out in Jake's beat-up pickup, the three of us crammed in the front seat. The road to the bridge was narrow, overgrown with weeds, and the headlights barely cut through the darkness. Mia was nervous, clutching her phone, reading aloud from some website about the bridge's history. She mentioned a story from the 1930s, a couple arguing by the bridge, their toddler wandering off and falling into the icy water below. Another tale claimed a woman, shunned for having a child out of wedlock, threw her baby over the edge and then jumped herself. I rolled my eyes. Sounds like every small-town ghost story, I said, but Jake just grinned and said, wait till we get there. When we reached the bridge, it was exactly as creepy as you'd expect. The structure was old, its metal frame rusted and sagging, surrounded by dense woods that seemed to swallow the moonlight. The creek below gurgled softly, and the air felt heavy, like it was holding its breath. Jake parked the truck just before the bridge, and we got out. Mia wanted to stay in the car, but Jake teased her until she relented. It's just a bridge, he said. I wish he'd been right. We walked to the middle of the bridge, our footsteps echoing on the worn planks. Jake had this idea from some online forum: sprinkle baby powder on the hood of the truck and see if tiny handprints appeared. He thought it'd be a laugh. So, he grabbed a bottle of talcum powder from Mia's gym bag and dusted it over the hood, all theatrical-like. Then we waited, standing there in the dark, listening to the creak and the occasional rustle of leaves. It was 11:55 p.m. At first, nothing happened. Mia kept whispering that she wanted to leave, and I was starting to agree. But then, right as my phone hit midnight, I heard it, a faint, whimpering cry. It wasn't loud, but it was clear, like a baby fussing in the distance. My stomach dropped. Jake laughed nervously and said, probably just a cat or something. But Mia was shaking, her eyes wide. That's not a cat, she whispered. The cry came again, sharper this time, and it seemed to be coming from under the bridge. I don't know why, but I leaned over the railing, peering into the dark water below. The moonlight caught the surface, and for a second, I thought I saw something, a ripple, maybe, or a shadow moving beneath. My heart was pounding, and I told myself it was just my imagination. But then Mia gasped and grabbed my arm. Look at the truck, she said. We turned, and there, on the hood, the baby powder had shifted. It wasn't handprints. Not exactly, but smudges, like something small had brushed against it. Jake swore under his breath and tried to laugh it off, saying the wind must have done it. But there was no wind. The air was still, oppressive. And then the crying stopped, just like that, leaving a silence that felt worse. I wanted to leave, but Jake, stubborn as ever, said we should check under the bridge. Maybe it's a kid playing a prank, he said. Mia refused to go, so she stayed by the truck while Jake and I climbed down the embankment. The creek was shallow, the water cold against my ankles as we waded in. Jake held up his phone's flashlight, scanning the shadows. That's when we saw it. A small, tattered blanket, caught on a branch in the water. It was old, frayed, and stained, but it looked like something a baby might have had. Jake reached for it, but I grabbed his arm. Don't, I said. I don't know why, but I felt like touching it would be a mistake. We scrambled back up to the bridge, and Mia was crying, saying she'd heard the baby again while we were gone. She showed us her phone. Somehow, a photo she'd taken of the bridge had a faint, blurry shape in the background, like a small figure standing at the edge. I told her it was probably just a trick of the light, but I wasn't sure I believed it. We piled into the truck and peeled out of there. The powder still smudged on the hood. Back at Jake's place, we tried to make sense of it. Mia kept talking about the stories she'd read, how some people claimed the bridge was cursed, how there'd been a murder. Nearby in 2010, an elderly woman found, strangled and burned just off the road. I didn't want to hear it. I just wanted to forget the whole thing. But that night, I dreamed of the bridge, of a woman standing in the water, her face hidden, holding a bundle that wouldn't stop crying. I woke up sweating, the sound still in my ears. I haven't gone back to the bridge, and I don't plan to. Jake laughs it off now, says it was just our minds playing tricks. Mia moved away, and I don't blame her. But I can't shake it, Chuck. I hear that cry sometimes, even in the middle of the day, and I wonder if we stirred something up that night. I keep the blanket in my closet. I don't know why I took it, but I can't bring myself to throw it out. It smells like damp earth and something sour. And sometimes, I swear it feels warm, like it's been held. Please, if you're ever near Salem, stay away from that bridge. And if you hear a baby crying in the dark, don't look for it. Just run. Yours, Ellie.